It's been awfully nice the last few days. I managed to spend some time with my new girlfriend. While also building more defenses, houses, and generally civilization in my favorite parts of the Commonwealth. Me and Kate are really close together these days, partly because we share the sense of humor, and partly because I helped her fight off her crippling addiction by killing a lot of gunners. It's so very uplifting when you can do two good deeds in one go and have a lot of fun while doing that. It really had a positive effect on our relationship.
Nothing better to cure what ails you, eh?
We had a lot of fun together, and we worked hard together. We built a farm for ourselves, a very special farm. It mainly farms raiders and monsters for some ammo and junk and weapons. I don't think a ratstack would care, Han. You are a very tough Irish girl, though. That is only the first step in making sure that my future empire becomes self-reliant. And speaking of the empire, I had to make some detours before meeting with my synth detective friend. I was now in possession of more than one full power armor suits, and my poor Kate had waited for hers long enough, so I did my best at tinkering and upgrading it to proper imperial standards. It's a bit embarrassing, but at the time I was nearly out of gold paint, so her armor was to remain dull and not shiny enough. I felt like I disappointed my mum or something, but in my defense, I used up my stock of gold paint on armor bits for my provisioners and guards. More importantly, though, an opportunity arose to acquire large amounts of building materials, including perhaps some paint and oil for paint making. My magic wrist-mounted device had picked up a distress call from a vault, Vault 88 in the south. An uncharted territory for me at that time. I discussed it with Kate and we decided it was absolutely worth exploring.
Your thoughts?
I don't mind hoofing it as long as there's some excitement at the end of the road.
Didn't have anything else?
No problem.
And I decided for the time being to treat my responsibilities as a Brotherhood of Steel knight with utmost urgency.
Ow! I think I might have pulled a muscle or something.
And seeing how that, agitated young man, Maxon, was eager to discover the secrets and the location of the Institute, I decided to travel to Good Neighbor first, where I was set to meet with Nick Valentine and his friend, who can hopefully help with the Institute business. Every bone in my body felt drawn towards the vault. The thought of all the useful junk just laying around in places like that just gave me a mild case of insomnia, but duty and happiness are inseparably connected, as the ancient wise man said, so let's go with the duty. I stepped in Good Neighbor to immediately step in some trouble.
Hold up there. First time in Good Neighbor? You can't go walking around without insurance.
You better back off, or you're the one who's gonna need insurance.
What was that? I couldn't hear over the sound of all that pathetic. You hand over everything you got in their pockets, or accidents start happening to you.
Someone steps through the gate the first time, they're a guest. You lay off that extortion crap.
What do you care? He ain't one of us.
No love for your mayor, Finn? I said let him go.
You soft-head cock. You keep letting outsiders walk all over us. One day.
Why'd you have to go and say that, huh? Breaking my heart over here. Everyone's welcome.
And then immediately a much worse problem of a military appliance trying to hit on me.
I'm a woman, baby. Can't you tell? And I run a store that sells very large guns.
Yeah?
Hey there.
What's up? What a day, huh? Everyone's welcome in Good Neighbor. Even me.
Finally, I arrived at Dr. Amari's office, and we had a conversation that made little sense until I realized one of my most bizarre recent behaviors, detaching some cybernetics from a splashed brain of Kellogg's. It was the best thing I could have done, apparently. I don't know why I took it. Why would I even think of putting my hands in a splashed brain? But I did. And now it is the only thing that can enable our equally insane idea of using science to get into the mind of Kellogg, who was a psychopath, by the way, so it's going to be a fun trip. It all makes perfect sense if you don't think about it. I just had a hunch, and it turned out to be the most correctest hunch of my life. I am beginning to suspect some divine intervention behind all of this, really, what else? Then... I don't even want to talk about this, but it might be quite important for later. I took a little tour through the psychopath's mind as planned, and nice to know that he used to be a decent person at one point, but I'm not going to cry for him. But after digging through a lot of sadness and despair and disappointment and failure, as we were getting closer to that one memory revealing our way into the Institute, something happened. What the hell is going on, Amari? Amari? I remember this guy from the vault. He did not look like me.
At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too.
I hoped it was because either Kellogg's brain or the technology we used to view its contents malfunctioned. That was my face. I had no idea why. I have never been frozen in a cryopod, but it reminded me of everyone I lost. My own wife and son.
No, I got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you shot.
Get out of here. Let's go. At least we still have the backup.
This random pre-war guy had a life, probably a better life than I could ever hope for. He lost everything, as I did. My mind started racing towards the darkest places. The hell with all that duty thing, I thought. I need to get my mind off of this. Don't want to spend another month drinking and smoking at the Red Rocket station. As fun as it would not be quite helpful.
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay. Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance.
To forget about how much I care for you.
Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That can't be right. No one would risk going there, not even to hide.
That's why he's there. To make the Institute think twice about following him.
That must be it. He's using the radiation and the glowing sea like a shield or a cloak, a way to throw them off and be at an advantage. If Virgil found a way to survive there, you'll have to do the same, if you're going to follow him.
This Valentine investigation has been nerve-wracking and bringing bad memories all the way through. I am going to Vault 88 first. I decided nothing is more relaxing, nothing clears my mind as well as some good old scavenging. So we were off, me and Kate, and on our way there we had a few horrible adventures. First we stumbled upon a place called Jamaica Plain. This one was just full of ghouls and idiots. Ghouls were dealt with... and idiots were mostly already deceased when we found them. They had various clues guiding us towards a remarkable treasure hidden in the ancient town hall ruins. So, since yours truly also isn't all that bright apparently, we followed the clues, found a basement with some rather interesting security measures, and Kate decided to destroy that power armor I gave her. Oh my god, Han, what happened? What happened? I was just about to disarm them. I was just about to disarm them. let's leave. There's nothing interesting here anyways. In the end, we didn't leave. However, I asked Kate kindly to wait outside as I disabled the turrets, and then I asked her back, and we discovered some really useless treasury room. Well, except one item that was perfect for her, for Kate.
Yes.
That was all pretty embarrassing for all parties involved, except the ghouls. I don't think they care anymore. Luckily, there was a perfect spot for another settlement there. It was duly noted. Planned to make it full of scavengers one day. Maybe that day I won't need to pick up every cup and pencil within eyesight. But then, well, the next step on our way was a settlement that was rumored to be completely wiped out by synths. University Point. Whispers of artificial terror plaguing this one had reached our ears. We decided to move in, as the place looked like it could one day become a home for a lot of people with crafting stations, beds, and some pre-war buildings ready to be inhabited. But yes, as we moved into University Point, it became apparent there was some truth to those dreadful rumors.
Whoa, whoa. You hear that? You lose. Dying time is here.
Let's not get too cocky, Kate.
Sure. What the? Over here. Over here.
Do you see what's hitting me? Oh, you!
I will limit the pain I inflict, if possible.
You are a decent duelist, and only a bit of a challenge.
You are an invaluable institute.
Damn it. Load me, please.
Ooh, food! It actually does look quite easy here. We'll be on our merry way in no time.
Hey,
Need something?
go check that out.
I'll get it done.
Oh crap, that's a very special Mirelurk, Han! Han! Come on, woman, turn around! Your armor, Kate, your armor, I just fixed it! We made a stop in the local pharmacy, which was overrun by ghouls, of course. Yes, well, these misadventures made me a bit worried about Kate. She lost a lot of her armor, she was seriously wounded and burned through her stimpack supply like wildfire. Of course, I never told her that. I was afraid she would strangle me in my sleep for suggesting she's not the tough Irish girl she claims to be. Of course Kate is tough, of course. I just wouldn't like to bury another one in a span of a few months, so I made a promise to myself to convince her to chill in one of our settlements right after we conquer Vault 88. Yes, that was my mindset going there. We were going there to conquer an ancient underground city. So after regrouping, healing, sleeping, and a little bit of tidying up, and some power armor upgrades for Kate, we were on the move again the next morning. We then approached the vault. Lo and behold, it was already in the process of being conquered by some rather irritable, irradiated raiders. So, as you could expect from a knight in shining armor, I charged from the nearest hill to ambush the barbarians and save the innocent civilians trapped in the siege. Sorry, did I say innocent civilians? I misspoke. I meant a horde of feral ghouls and one non-feral connected to perhaps the most corrupt and disgusting corporation in pre-war history. There she was, trapped here under the rubble for about 2 centuries, to finally be rescued by a knight.
This is my vault now. If you want to live, leave.
I immediately banished her, and since the decadence and heartlessness of the world that destroyed itself make me quite angry, I pondered a very unknightly act. No need to go full Caesar, though. Never go full Caesar. At any rate, I now have a vault, Well, an underground complex of caves and excavations. The vault has never been finished. It means, however, I can build whatever I want here, eventually. Even better, the place has a steady supply of water and a huge power generator. We will have full electricity privileges here for sure. We will have so much concrete and steel we should be able to build proper houses, shops and even factories. I want this place to produce weapons, armor, ammo. Everyone in the Empire will travel here to marvel at the amazing underground industrial city. Eventually. We stayed for the night and a few days to dig up as much concrete and steel as we possibly could, but it was time for me to report to my superiors at Prydwen. Now that I know at least how to find someone who knows how to get to the Institute, Elder Maxon should probably know all about what I know. In fact, it is a perfect opportunity to tell Kate she needs to take a break. She enjoys near-death situations a little bit too much. She agreed to stay at Starlight Drive-In for a bit. On our way there, we absolutely did not waste any time on more adventures, looting and scavenging. We almost resisted the temptation to see what's inside the Boston Library, but I had a hunch something useful is bound to be found in there, and I am always on the lookout for something interesting to read. And since Kate was still a little bit unhappy with the prospect of staying idle, we also went all the way to Fort Hagen, because I wanted to tell her all about my epic fight with Kellogg, and because I vaguely remembered there were some power armor suits for taking on the way, and because there was some cups and ashtrays in the fort. You can't build an empire without mountains of ceramics, it's just the way it is. Alright, I guess it was just the time to admit I was procrastinating horribly, but I ran out of ideas on how to put off the trip to the glowing sea. Finally, I made my way to Brotherhood's floating headquarters and reported on the state of affairs with the Institute. I even tried to treat Elder Maxon seriously, and I asked Paladin Dance to accompany me. He is the man. He is possibly the only reason I joined the Brotherhood, and the entire organization would be much better off if there was more dances. We took the Vertibird to drop us as close to the glowing sea as possible. 2 experienced warriors in power armor. The rats should not be a problem, and we can take all creatures the wasteland can throw at us, right? Well. Ooh, a tough little bastard. Oh crap, there's always a bigger goal. Jeez, finally. Ooh, red rocket. Feels like home. Filled with scorpions. Alright, a dance. This one is a really tough one. Lost them? It's just in your face. Let's check this place out. I may need to repair my power armor at some point.
I'd just leave that if I were you.
Dance, really? Sometimes silence is golden. Ah, duct tape. The meaning of life. Ah. I'm sorry, Kate.
Loctite.
Do you ever get this? Do you ever suddenly, really suddenly miss your girlfriend? Shh! A death claw.
Fire! Don't let it get close!
Interesting. The bloatfly is actually more concerning than the deathclaw. Why don't I have a sniper rifle? Oh, because I suck at sniping, that's why. Now I remember. You are an embarrassment to death glows everywhere. Needless to say, I decided to explore the glowing sea a bit, search the place for ancient lost tech and such. Paladin Dance insisted, and I wasn't sure if I was ever to return here. It's not the nice place to meet new friends, after all. I could maybe use it as a rite of passage of sorts for some annoying people in my empire, but otherwise I don't think I want to have much to do with the glowing sea in the future. Whew, this is exhausting, Dance. Let's see what's in the church, eh? I'm sure it's safe and a perfect place for a breather. Hello? Oh. Okay, horde. Alone, I'm not in the mood. Why won't you leave my armor alone?
Brotherhood behind you will never fall.
Right. I don't know what I just did and why I did that, but anyway, it's done.
There's still that off-the-record matter I'd like to discuss. Do you have time now?
Off the record? That's not like you, Dance.
Which is why this is going to be difficult to say. So I'd appreciate it if you bear with me.
When you were first placed under my sponsorship, I had some serious reservations about it.
Reservations? It was your idea!
I've never been very good at these things. Let me start at the beginning.
I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins and selling scrap. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand.
While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble.
Are you sure we have to talk about all of this now?
Once I saw what the Brotherhood had to offer, there was no comparison. Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Pridwin, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. Those wretched abominations had slaughtered everyone but Cutler. He should have been so lucky. The mutant bastards used their FEV to change him into one of their own kind. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to... It was my duty to put him down.
It's what I was taught. I don't know if it was right. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen other soldiers come and go, but I'd never considered any of them to be a good friend. A friend like Cutler was. Until now. It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all the same. Having a bond with someone, then losing them. It changes you. I don't want to go through that again.
Phew, that's a lot of words to say. Are we friends? I think we're friends. We are, by the way. Jeez, I miss Kate. It was all quite interesting, I say, but after that conversation there was even more of really deadly scorpions. And my armor started to literally fall apart. It meant more rads and more risk of a serious wound. I tried to keep cool since we already had one crybaby on the team. But things weren't improving. These creatures are really seriously mutated there in the glowing sea. I was beginning to feel quite overwhelmed. I needed to find a place where I could repair my armor and inject some serious dose of Radaway. I even considered picking up some chems, if we find any. That's how serious things had become. Of course, I didn't have enough resources to really fix my armor, and getting out of it was a health and safety hazard in itself. That right-away injection had become a really pressing matter. Some people would decide to retreat and come back better prepared, but I decided to push on, hopefully find some bountiful ruins, like maybe a military facility or something, in hopes of finding the raw materials for the armor and a comfy bed. And only then move on with our mission. Yes, I prefer to take my risks now, immediately, if it means I don't ever have to come back to take them again later.
Oh look, a power armor station, find a ghoul. Of course, of course.
Well, what we have learned here? We learned that if you really believe in yourself and stand your ground, you can still fail at finding copper. We learned that both me and Paladin Dance are very manly men who like to talk about their feelings in the middle of a permanent rat storm. And we learned I need to hurry up to meet that rogue Institute scientist, forgetting all my urges for exploration. Otherwise my curiosity can become the literal death of me. Luckily, at that point we were quite close to that fated cave of the rogue scholar, so we tried to beeline. Of course there was a death claw on the way. And inside, some signs of paranoia, quite a lot of security for a place where no one wants to be anyway.
Are you Virgil?
You know damn well I am. What are you doing here?
You have information I need.
And yet I have no idea who the hell you are.
I'm just a guy looking for information on the Institute.
The Institute? So, they did send you, didn't they? You're working with Kellogg.
Kellogg's been taken care of.
And so you killed him, eh? Then what do you want with me?
Relax. I just need to know how to get in there.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You want to get into the Institute? You know how synths get in and out of the Institute?
Yeah, they use some sort of teleporter.
Well. Not many know about it. Pretty closely guarded secret. You've certainly done your homework. It's commonly referred to as the molecular relay. The relay is the only way in and out of the Institute. You understand? The only one. That means you're going to have to use it. Now, have you ever seen an Institute Courser? Coursers are Institute synths, designed for one purpose. They're hunters. They're very good at what they do. And you're going to have to kill one.
Let's go. Just point me in the right direction.
Well, I suppose your enthusiasm counts for something. Every Courser has special hardware that gives them a direct connection to the relay. It's embedded in a chip in their heads. You need that chip. You're going to have to hunt one down. I can tell you where to start and give you some help finding one. But you'll have to do the dirty work.
Okay, let's get to work.
Right.
On our way back, just as we were approaching the edge of the glowing sea and I was about to sigh with relief, we found a nice little safe shack. Oh, safety, I said to myself. And lo and behold, the little shack had a military bunker in its basement. Obviously, I just had to explore. How do you resist a curiosity like this? Also, there was a lot of ceramic in there, I kinda had to do it. And maybe it was actually a decent hunch in the end, because we discovered Institute synths in that basement, meaning those bastards are almost certainly onto something of interest in here. It turned out there wasn't so much in terms of any unique technology. but at least there was a lot of raw materials, a power armor suit and a workstation to finally repair my suit. Finally we could leave and be rid of the constant humming of the rat storm. I was so overjoyed when I saw a friendly face. Well, a friendly cow.
Watch out, Dance, I see something. It's a cow. It's a pack Brahmin. But the merchant is insane enough to travel. Quick, save the cow! What is it now? Nope, the cow lives.
We may have a problem.
Hi, how are you?
I needed to relax, recuperate, see a doctor, read a magazine, and most importantly, meet up with Kate. I took Paladin Dance to Hangman's Alley. It has become a neat little settlement with trade, grub, and live music every other evening. I wanted him to have some fun before we part. Naturally, he thought it was a great opportunity for another heart-to-heart.
I don't normally find these discussions easy to handle. I'll try and get right to the point. Since you and I are getting along so well, I felt like I could confide in you about it, to get your honest opinion. Helen is a model scribe. A few months before you found us, one of my men was shot multiple times by raiders.
Aelin stayed by that knight's side for 2 days straight, fighting to keep him alive. But he was on a slow decline. But the decision whether or not to ease that soldier's suffering isn't the point here. The point is what happened later that same evening. She collapsed into my arms, crying. I didn't know what to do, so I just held her for a while. A few minutes later, she stopped. Kissed me on the cheek and simply said, "Thank you." Over half of my team are gone. Each one of them died because of decisions that I made. I understand the risks that come with the job. We all do. But how can anyone have confidence in me anymore?
Well, it looks like things have taken a turn.
I'm glad that it's made you feel better, Dance.
As soon as I got some sleep, still feeling all achy and weakened from my radical adventuring, I rushed towards Starlight the next day, so that I can tell Kate about everything that has transpired.
How do you feel about our relationship?
We're together. That's all I care about. Everything else doesn't matter.
And also take care of some of my responsibilities as a ruler. And then, well, it was the time to go, finally, to follow the clues and directions from Amari and Virgil. With the tech I was equipped with, it was not hard to track down the cursor. And there was a lot of fighting to be done in there, except maybe, let me be honest with you, some of those fights were a tad anticlimactic. Those gunners were at the same time being decimated by the cursor, who stayed a few steps ahead of me on his way to the top, leaving a rather intimidating trace of explosions and dead bodies behind. And yet, when I finally met him, well...
Use a little help over here. He deserved to die. I know you're not here for me, but I can't get out. Not on my own. I'm going to have to trust you to help me.
If you're going to kill me, then do it.
Thank you. I don't know what to say.
Who are you?
My institute designation is K-198, but I prefer Jenny, so yes, I'm a synth, if you hadn't already guessed. I knew they'd send a courser. I just didn't think you'd find me so fast. Maybe we'll meet again, under better circumstances. I hope we do.
Yeah, well, synths of her generation are an abomination, but then many of my friends are abominations too. Those sick institute people created a completely unnecessary moral conundrum with those synths. I don't think synths are people, but sometimes I feel synths are people. It's really annoying. At any rate, we were getting really close to the goal of exposing the Institute, and some progress was made towards the establishment of my new Commonwealth Empire. Dance proved to be a good friend. A bit too good, if you ask me, and now I should be able to impress Dr. Amari, Virgil, and Elder Maxon all at once. Pity I need to talk to Maxon in order to impress him. Maybe Dance can tell him what happened. At any rate, it was time to really get it done. All of it. Commonwealth will be saved.
Unfortunately, I can't help you. I've worked on a lot of synths, but never a Corsair. I don't know what that chip does, let alone how to decode it. But there are people who might. I work with a group that, well, they're the only ones I know that even have a chance at cracking Institute security. They're called the Railroad.
Oh, cock.
I'm just a fool for you.